It's your boy Lava Quan, man. Hey, I'm back. No, before that, like my shit, please. Like my video, please, before I get mad. I don't want to get mad. I give you 5 seconds. All right, that should be enough. Like it. I ain't gonna do too much talking. Let's just hop straight into it. All right.
Baffling questions remain concerning the case of a 5-year-old boy whose body was found in a garbage compactor in Brooklyn yesterday. Jason Carroll's in East New York, where police are looking for answers to a very tragic story. Jason?
And Jack, as you can see, the housing police have set up a mobile command unit out here. At this point, though, the investigation is really stalled. They have no leads at this point. But one question has been answered in all this. Police now know that somebody murdered the child before stuffing him down the trash chute.
In May of 1993, a grisly discovery was made in the East New York section of Brooklyn, New York, in the Linden houses. Now, this area of Brooklyn had experienced its fair share of violent moments in the past, but nothing quite like this. Whenever it involves a child, these types of crimes evoke a feeling of helplessness and fear, with residents on the streets feeling like if it happened to someone else, it can happen to them too.
As I think about my son here, he's the same age group, and I think about the same thing happening to him, which is real sad. It's real tragic.
Yeah. I got 3 kids of my own, and that makes me scared. And even with parents, it was some crazy guy that did it.
Bruh. No, you know what? I ain't gonna stop. I'm sorry.
They wouldn't be wrong for feeling this way. The news of something cruel being done to a child gives parents and guardians all over a little more reason to hug their children. But not every child is lucky enough to escape that danger. Some are left to suffer a fate so awful that it leaves everybody questioning just how something like this could ever happen.
Happening, a heartbreaking story. A little boy whose short life ended in violent death is remembered, and a final farewell is always cheerful. His mother and his foster mother were choked with grief at his funeral today.
On today's episode of Evil Intentions, this is Lie Away, the story of Kayesean Blackledge.
Bro, like I know y'all. I ain't doing a lot of talking because I'm speechless. I ain't gonna fake it.
Landing in a basement trash compactor. An autopsy showing the boy was dead before the compactor crushed his body. The result is sad.
Kayesean Blackledge was born on September 11th, 1988, and was from Brooklyn, New York. He was born to a young woman by the name of Kayesean Blackledge and a man by the last name Applewhite. From very early on in little Kayesean's life, he was surrounded by certain issues that he had absolutely no control over. The first of these that he would experience was in November of 1988 at the family's Chauncey Street apartment in Brooklyn, when he was just a young age of only 2 months old. It was then that Kayesean's biological mother, just 15 years old at the time, would get into an altercation with her mother, Kayesean's grandmother. It's unclear how the fight began, but it was said that it resulted in Karen's mother taking her radio and slamming it onto the ground outside in the street. Seeing this made Karen very angry, and the fight escalated even further, and Karen went into the kitchen and grabbed a knife, threatening to stab her own mother. This violent interaction between the two would end with little Kayesean being removed from the family's home by child services. According to case files, there are mentions of other violent disputes between Kayesean's mother and grandmother, and even mentions of Kayesean being left alone at home for long periods of time. Kayesean's biological father would disappear shortly after Kayesean was taken out of the home. At the time, Karen believed that he might have been in prison. After a few situations like these took place and time went on,
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. How I feel about the situation so far. To be honest, I ain't gonna lie. It feels like a typical household. And that sounds crazy. I know. Say what y'all want to say, but it sounds like a typical household that went overboard, if you know what I'm saying. CPS came, Child Protective Service came, or whatever, took the kid, just because of one altercation or whatever. That was a kid having a kid, you see what I'm saying? Different situations. But I know many of stories that's like this. But what makes the difference is The ones that I know is still living. The one I know is still living. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to a child death, that's crazy to me. Kayesean, he would be older than me now if he was still living. By a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't never get to witness things that he should have witnessed, you know, and that's a sad case. But when it comes to responsibilities and things like that, and how people react to things, and you know, people, well, I don't know. I'm chatting like I know what the fuck finna happen. You know what I'm saying? Which I can tell what's gonna happen, but I don't know. Fuck it, I'm talking too much. My bad. I'm chatting. Shut the fuck up.
Little Kayesean would spend time at the Staten Island Mission for foster kids before being put into the care of his aunt, Dana Blackledge. Karen was very young when she had Kayesean, and those around her understood it would be very hard for her to take care of a kid, being just a teen herself. This would lead to Karen's aunt, Dana, agreeing to take Kayesean and care for him in 1989, just until Karen could get on her feet and get things in her life in order.
I still wasn't born.
Karen herself, her aunt Dana provided Kayesean with lots of care and was also one of the only people that she would trust with Kayesean. Despite her age, Karen mentioned that she was proud to have Kayesean, so much so that she named him after her best friend's son. Dana Blackledge, a nurse's aide at the time, was actually born David Blackledge, but since 1979, had been undergoing a series of operations to become a woman at St. Mary's Hospital. Although other reports state that she began saving money for her operation in 1986, a series of operations that were completed in 1991.
That shit was going on back then? Like, all right, I get it. I know stuff like that, sex changes and stuff was going on. All right, that's the year I was born, 91. But stuff going on and stuff, like, that's crazy to me. I ain't gonna fake it. That is crazy to me. I ain't know people did sex changes and stuff back then. Not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I never known that, you know. But you named your kid after another one, after someone. Let me say, someone.
Kayesean's mother was grateful she had Dana to take care of her son because she had fears that if he had gone to a stranger's home, she would eventually lose contact with him and never get him back. When Kayesean was put into the care of Dana, Karen's...
Well, alright, I'm sorry.
Dana, Karen's mother, Kayesean's grandmother, would let child welfare agents know that Dana was born a man, but this was fine because it didn't play a role in Kayesean's safety. She also stated that Dana was asked many questions about her lifestyle during extensive interviews with child welfare, and not once did she ever hide anything. Whether Dana was born a man or not wasn't a factor, and it didn't matter. Kayesean was cared for, he was loved, and he had whatever he needed. In 1990, Dana Blackledge would leave Brooklyn, New York and move to Jersey City.
I got so much shit I want to say. I got so much stuff I want to say.
Still, everyone involved felt that Kayesean was in good hands. On August 26 of 1992, Dana would put a singles ad in the daily newspaper seeking a partner. Now, this was something that was common back then, but what she didn't know was that one of the men who responded to this ad would be the same person responsible for flipping her whole reality and doing even worse to little Kayesean. The ad stated that Dana was seeking a man between the ages of 34 and...
Fuck they say. Attractive. That's the first thing you put is attractive. Top right there, attractive. Come on, man. Your attention's already messed up. Fuck is SB. Alright. See, transsexual. One-to-one relationship with a man. 34 to 50, who's open-minded, financially stable, and marriage-minded. Oh, that's crazy.
50. Someone who was financially stable, seeking marriage, and who was open-minded. 7 men would respond to the ad. One of them being a man by the name Stefan Poole. Dana recalls when the two met down at the World Trade Center for their first time meeting face-to-face. Her first impressions of Poole were that he was a sincere person and that he seemed to be devoted to the things he cared about. He was also described by Dana as a man with old-fashioned ways. He was also quiet and honest. He seemed to have everything that she wanted in a man. The two would hit it off, and it led to them being in a serious relationship.
I ain't gonna fake it, bro. Oh boy, who narrating this, boy, you sound like an NPC. Come on, bro. You have no tone in your voice. Yeah, they will hit it off, and that's it. Come on, bro. Tighten up. Tighten up, big dog. Damn. And I ain't even trying to be funny. Tighten up, bro. Don't make me mad.
Poole proposing to Dana on Valentine's Day of 1993, just a few short months after they first met. They would get married at the Queensboro Hall on the 24th of February. And throughout all of this, little Kayesean was very much cared for.
It's hard as fuck.
4-year-old Kayesean Blackledge was described as a sweet and lively child, a very happy kid who was active and showed everyone love. He was called Boo Boo by his aunt Dana. He attended...
That's why I call my daughter Boo Boo. Kind of weird calling a little boy that. That's crazy. I call my daughter Boo Boo. That's her nickname. Sorry, but dog, you can't have it. That's my daughter's nickname.
Salem Baptist Nursery School in Jersey City, where the teachers all fell in love with him and had nothing but kind things to say about him. According to Dana, when Stefan Poole entered the picture, Kayesean was immediately attached to him, even calling him dad. Family life between Stefan and Dana with Kayesean there was going very well, and at one point, Dana even wanted to adopt another child, but she knew she would have to move into a bigger place, so that never happened. Every single night, Dana would sing little Kayesean a song, since that's how he liked being put to sleep. A song by Diana Ross called Brown Baby, previously recorded by Nina Simone, Mahalia Jackson, and originally performed and written by Oscar Brown Jr. The lyrics keeping a child safe and protected by parents who love them. It also mentions their wish for the child to live in a better world. Some of the lyrics would say, "Lie away sleeping, lie away here in my arms, while your mommy and your daddy protect you and keep you safe from harm. Brown baby, it makes me so glad that you will have things I have never had. Lie away in mommy's arms." She wouldn't stop singing until Kayesean was fast asleep. Kayesean would often accompany Dana to Brooklyn, where she would bring him to visit family and friends. And according to those they'd visit, Kayesean was always seen with a smile on his face and very happy. But not long after Dana and Stefan got married, things would quickly begin to go a completely different route. And on Thursday, May 20th of 1993, their relationship reached a very violent level, and Kayesean was again in the middle of the entire thing. Media outlets would report that...
Let's scroll over to her. Alright, how I feel about this? I know y'all ain't asked me, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you anyway. I feel that it's straight kids that's gonna be born and kids that was born that gotta go through stuff that most kids don't go through. That's just the reality of it all. Is it the kids' fault? No, it's not. Is it the parents' fault of what their kids go through? It's kind of a question that you can have different opinions on. Some people feel that life is destiny. Like whatever you do is already written. Other people feel like whatever you do, you know, can change things. And you know where I'm coming from, but I don't know. It's like, but it sucks to, you don't know the potential of something that could have been great. You feel me? I'm just chatting. I'm sorry. I'm just chatting. My mind just racing a million times. You know, I'm chatting. I'm sorry. I'm chatting. Fuck you too. Fuck you too. Dang, I can chat.
That there was a fight about being intimate between Dana and Stefan, and articles mentioned that Kayesean walked in on the two as they did the deed. But according to Dana, that was very far from the truth. The true nightmare would begin that morning.
It's the what?
When the couple's alarm clock went off. It was then that Stefan was turning at 5 a.m. That was very far from that Kayesean walked in on the two as they did the deed. But
did the deed?
That was very far from the truth. Kayesean walked in on the about being intimate between Dana and Stefan.
Oh, come on.
Articles mentioned that Kayesean walked in on the two as they did the deed. But according to Dana, that was very far from the truth. The true nightmare would begin that morning at 5 a.m. when the couple's alarm clock went off. It was then that Stefan would turn to Dana and say, "We have enough time for sex." But when she turned to look at him, he immediately mounted her and began to savagely attack her with a knife, stabbing her. He would then try to duct tape Dana's hands together, but she was able to break free. He apparently kept the knife and tape under his side of the bed the night before, in preparation for the attack. Neighbors stated they could hear the couple fighting on this day and in the days prior. There had been reports of arguments between the two, something that wasn't an issue at first. After breaking loose from the duct tape, with stab wounds in her back and starting to bleed out, Dana would stumble into the hallway of the building and began banging on everyone's door in hopes of getting help. Finally, she was able to get the attention of a delivery man who saw the condition she was in, and he drove her to the nearest hospital. But this would leave little Kayesean all alone in the home.
Come on, bro.
It was said that Kayesean heard the fight and even yelled at Stefan, pleading with him to not hurt Dana, who he saw as a mother figure. But in a rage, Stefan would leave the home after the attack, and he would take little Kayesean with him, with Kayesean only wearing his 18 pajamas, since just a few moments before all of this happened,
come on, bro.
Asleep, until being awoken by the sounds of screams and cries. He put little Kayesean in the family car and would drive from Jersey City to the Linden houses in East New York. Poole was a city sanitation inspector in Brooklyn. Although his work didn't take him to the Linden houses, he was formerly a cook in the Army and also worked as a corrections officer in New York. According to reports, Poole was on his way to the Linden houses because he was headed to the apartment of someone he knew there. He would only give the name Andrew and stated that he didn't know the man's last name. When he arrived at the building, he would take the elevator to the 8th floor, with Kayesean right by his side. He stated that he couldn't tell which apartment belonged to his friend because all the doors looked exactly the same. Kayesean would begin to cry, more than likely from the fear of being in a foreign place with someone who was starting to give off a horrifying vibe. And that's when Poole would begin smacking Kayesean to keep him quiet, resulting in the child only crying more. He would continue to hit little Kayesean, and one of the hits was so hard that Kayesean's head slammed into the wall, and this would end up cracking his skull, as confirmed by a medical examiner. Kayesean's painful and desperate cries continued, so Poole would begin to choke the life out of little Kayesean, savagely strangling him, until those cries were no more. As if this wasn't already the worst thing imaginable, he would then take Kayesean's small body, fold him in half, and stuff him down the incinerator with
Bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I ain't got shit to say, bro. I ain't gonna fake it. I ain't gonna force it. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. I have zero to say.
with Kayesean's body crashing 8 stories to the basement below, falling directly into the trash compactor, where his small body was crushed. His body was found by a worker in the building a short time later. When Kayesean's body was found, at first, nobody knew who the little boy was. Officers began to canvass the neighborhood, asking anyone if they recognized the child, as they showed them a police sketch. And on Friday, May 21st of 1993, at around 6:30 p.m., someone made a call to the West District Police Station of Jersey City.
Bro, like, come on, bro. Come on, man. I ain't gonna fake it. That's why I didn't want to do this video. I'm not gonna fake it. That's why I did not want to do this fucking video. But I hate this feeling, bro. I hate this feeling. I can't stand this type of feeling. That's why I did not want to do this fucking video. Bro, there was years ago before I was born, bro. Like, shit like that don't supposed to happen. I don't get it. Stuff like that do not supposed to happen. It don't supposed to happen, bro. Like, for real. It don't supposed to happen, bro. Like, shit so just, I don't know, bro. He ain't deserve none of that. And that shit just unfortunate. That shit is very unfortunate. That shit really, really pisses me off. That shit make me sad, and I don't like being sad. The type of person like me, but being an alpha or, a manly, I don't like the feeling of being sad, bro. Like, y'all don't get it. For those who know me, I don't like the feeling of being sad, bro. So it's like, and this little dude now will be older than me now. But it's just that he had to go through that, bro. Like, y'all don't get it.
And the person on the other end was telling authorities that he was Stefan Poole. He made incriminating statements about Kayesean and told him that the boy's body was somewhere in East New York. A picture of the boy's battered body was shown to Dana Blackledge while she stood at the hospital. She would then identify the dead child as Kayesean. It would be 2 long days before he was even identified. Outrage, fear, and shock would take over the borough of Brooklyn and the rest of the city.
That's crazy,
the
bro.
Details of little Kayesean's tragic end began to circulate. There were many questions as to just how something like this could ever even happen, and why this child was with someone who would do this to him. An important question to authorities was, why take his life? Authorities would speak to Dana Blackledge, who explained the situation, and so now they knew exactly who they were looking for. But Poole was nowhere to be found. Authorities would quickly catch on and started to watch Poole closely, monitoring his every move via computer as he made several ATM transactions. He stood in New York City for 2 days after what he did, and then began making his way down south. He made his way to Tallahassee, Florida, followed by Crestview, Florida, then to Biloxi, Mississippi. He kept on moving, evading authorities the entire time, and would end up in Conroe, Texas, and then Huntsville, Texas. It was here that a Texas state trooper was running a random license plate check at a sobriety checkpoint. A warrant for Poole's arrest was the first thing to show for him. He would make a call to the 75th precinct letting them know that he had Poole in his possession. But the warrant that was popping up was coming up for auto theft. This is when a lieutenant would let that trooper know that they didn't want this man for auto theft. They wanted him for felony murder. He was arrested straight away and extradited back to New York City. When questioned about Kayesean, he would confess to everything he did. He said he threw Kayesean down the trash chute because he was sure that he was dead, as if this somehow made his actions any more acceptable. The admission would leave detectives stunned and even more sickened. But this arrest would also lead detectives to look into Poole's past. And it turns out, Poole had an ex-wife who died suspiciously years ago. His wife in 1989, a woman by the name of Michelle Jenkins, was found dead on her basement floor from what medical examiners at the time believed to be a heart attack. But further investigation would lead them to something else. A theory that Poole actually just strangled his wife to death in an attempt to collect a life insurance claim worth upwards of $50,000. When he was asked about this, he would become extremely defensive and tell the detectives,
Bro. You killed your ex-wife? You killed the little kid? And you tried to kill your fling, your other past relationship. That's crazy. That's that military, that's that PTSD stuff, man. That's that military stuff, bro. That's crazy to me. And look at that picture. She know that your ass crazy. She know that you fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She know that. She know that you crazy. Look at your ugly ass face and look at hers. And you, yeah, boy, I hope you getting done dirty.
That he would fight
Facts.
tooth and nail if they decided to charge him with her murder. But after reviewing that information, detectives were led to yet another piece of evidence. And this was the fact that when Dana and Stefan first got married, one of the first things that he would suggest was her adding him as a beneficiary on her life insurance plan. She didn't notice any red flags about this, and she didn't think that anything about this was weird. Dana filled out the paperwork, but she never sent it in. But Stefan Poole thought that she did.
You
Dana
drove.
was also waiting on a settlement for a medical malpractice lawsuit for her sex change operation, since it left her badly scarred. It seems that all along, Stefan Poole had a plan in motion, a plan to try to kill Dana Blackledge for money. And
So you did all that shit for money?
In the past, at least
you did all that shit for money, bro. I thought you was just fucking crazy. You crazy. You most definitely crazy. You lost your fucking marbles. That's a fact. You had a wife, killed her for the insurance money. Then you probably ain't even gay, or you're gay now. That's a fact. You're one of them. You did that for money too? You a sicko, boy. You was a fucking sicko. You fucked in the head. Yeah, get that man off the street. Sweep him up, dog. Real spill. Sweep that man up. You're done. You're done. Nasty
Stefan
ass.
Poole was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for the death of Kayesean Blackledge. And according to my research, it seems that he's been a free man since March of 2020.
Bro. I'll end this video right now. On my mama, I'll end this video right now.
On Tuesday, June 1st of 1993, a funeral for Kayesean Blackledge was held at the Lawrence Woodard Funeral Home in Brooklyn. Hundreds would gather to remember the young boy who was loved by all and who would be greatly missed. His funeral program read, "Though my house was tossed out with the refuse, my spirit is intact. I am not garbage. I am the soul of an angel." Everyone from family, friends, teachers, and even people who didn't know Kayesean or his family would attend his funeral because the story was just so tragic, they wanted to pay proper respects. The kind words shared about Kayesean were quickly outweighed by the grief that permeated through the funeral home. Dana would lean over into little Kayshawn's coffin and leave him a cassette tape. A tape of him and his classmates practicing a song for preschool graduation. A graduation that he would never get to attend. Karen Blackledge, Kayshawn's biological mother, would almost collapse as that grief took hold of her. She never wanted to lose her son. She wanted him back as soon as she got her life in order. But now, all she had was this one final moment. The moment that she buried her son. To never see him again. Bro. Reverend John Pratt had this to say in his heartbreaking eulogy. "I did not know you, young fellow, but I know that you are somewhere where there is a better life, a place where the flowers never die. If there are no toys there, don't worry about it. If there are no games there, don't worry about it. You're going to be in heaven all day. Rest in peace to Kayesean Blackledge, and my deepest condolences go out to his family. You aren't forgotten."
Hey man, that's crazy. Hey, I ain't gonna fake it, bro. I ain't gonna fake it. If that man got out, I gotta look him up. I ain't gonna fake it. I gotta look him up. After I end this video, I'm looking him up. That's crazy. That man killed not one, but two people. And he got 25 to life. And he had attempted murder for trying to kill Dana. So that's crazy. Bro, you straight. I don't think y'all understand, bro. Y'all straight. You killed this man. You killed this little kid, bro. Crushed his head and folded him and put him down. Come on, bro. What can even make you do that? I can't do nothing like that. I can't do stuff like that, bro. Like, Hey, well, take my shit. I'll see y'all in the next video.